The record edit window. The record edit window is accessed from the top toolbar. I select on the record edit window, and this gives me the options for what I will include in editing the record. You'll see at the bottom that our final option is to delete all the unchecked data. So any areas of data that are not checked will not be saved. And this modifies the original file, so it's something that we want to be very careful of. Now, our first option is to show saved areas in the trace window. And this simply places marks throughout the recording for the areas that we're going to save. The top one is for the waveforms and the bottom one is for audio and video. We can select the option to keep all EEG data. What this would effectively do if we only kept EEG data and turned everything else off would be to only save the EEG data. Now we can also choose to keep the first 2 minutes of every hour. If you want a sampling just so that you have different states, wake, asleep, drowsy, etc., you can choose relatively random samples and just collect 2 minutes of every hour, or however many minutes of every hour you want, and include or not include video. And then beneath that are the highlights. You can see that we have a couple of highlights that have been selected. You can see that there are a couple of highlights that have been marked in this record. And typically you may want to save those. If they're important, both save the EEG and the video. Now beneath that are the event types to save. And you may or may not want to save all the video on these. Typically what I will do is uncheck save video. Actually, I'm not going to keep all the EEG. There are a number of things here that I don't really care about, but I do care about hyperventilation, the impedances, comments, button presses, rhythmic bursts, detections, photic, seizures, snapshots, spikes, user events, and I may not want to keep video for all of those, so I'll select individual video that I want to keep, which is everything except the impedances for my preferences. And then you can choose to save a number of minutes before and after each of these events. Once you have these selected, you select delete unchecked data. So I've marked all my events, and again I'm going to delete the unchecked data. So as a reminder, anything that's not marked or checked is going to be deleted. In this case, I have a 12-hour study, and I'm going to keep almost 4 hours of it and delete 8 hours of it. Are you sure? Yes.
And portions of the records have been successfully deleted.
You'll see in the timeline the segments that have been deleted. This concludes the discussion on the record edit window.